What's up, traders? Welcome back to another episode of The Hot Seat. Today, I'm sitting with Nick O'Connor. He's one of our Black Shirt Club members. He's one of our standout guys, and you're going to see why in this episode. For some reason, Zoom did not record his face or my face, so it's just screen share, but the value is still there, so I'm posting it. I think you're still going to love it. We talk about his playbook, how he built it, why he built it the way that he did. I think that'll be insightful to a lot of you. We talk about how he does his daily report cards, the standard that he still holds himself to, even though he's already doing really well. So I think it's going to be, from a couple of different angles, very, very valuable for a lot of you guys. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our future videos. Thank you to Tradezella for making this video happen. Make sure you check for the discount link down in the description to this video if you're not already using Tradezella. And now let's get into it. All right, everybody. So we've got Nick in the hot seat today. Nick's going to talk to us about his playbook section, specifically how he built the playbooks, why he chose to break it down into what some people may say, Nick, is a lot of playbooks. So let's start high level first. When you and I started working together, you were not tracking your trades at all, correct?
No, really not at all. I was just kind of showing up to the market and just taking trades and, didn't really have a data-driven system to tell me what was working and what wasn't working. And, once we got into using the Tradezella on a regular basis with the DRCs, with the journaling, that's when things really started to turn to the upside for me and my trade outcomes and my profitability.
For sure. And it's more than even just doing the daily report card. It's tagging and understanding what trades are you taking that are working really well, and then what trades are you taking that are hurting you. Fortunately for you, you're green everywhere here, which is fantastic. But clearly, some of these are more green than others, and some have more data in them than others. So talk to us for a second about how you broke this down. Why are there so many playbooks here? What does this represent?
Well, I went through Futures 1.0, Futures 2.0, and
Oh,
just
nice plug.
basically
Nice plug.
there we go. There we go. Yeah. And, just made a playbook for each section and, what would show up to your stream every day and look for those opportunities and take the trades and document the outcomes. And so with the Tradezella software, I was able to, put everything in, and it calculated what my total P&L has been for each playbook. Now, they're all green now, but, a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago, the high day VWAP break was very red. But, what's great about Tradezella is that I was able to see, like, hey, that high a day VWAP break, the second one at the top, that was like minus $1,200. And so what we worked on is going through those trades to see where can we get better at these trades? Like, what are we doing? What could we do better? And so I went back, did my homework on that specific playbook, and it's been fantastic. I went from being about minus 1,200, and you see now it's in the net positive, and it's a trade that I'm confident taking if I see it present.
Now, what's the flip side of this talk to you about? Like some of these that don't have a lot of data, are those trades that you're trying to avoid, or those maybe new experimental things? Because I know you've actually added, even while you've been with me in the Black Shirt Club, you've added some other entries to the tool belt as well. So how do these come into play?
Exactly. So yeah, I like to have 30 trades documented in my playbook before I take it to a funded account. And so, there's lots of trades here, like the high a day VWAP rejection, initial balance bounces, those are work-ons that I'm experimenting with to see if it clicks with me or it doesn't. And, if I see like this is a nice strategy that I can add to my arsenal of trades that I can take, then that's great. And if it's not working, well, I can either see what can I do better or just focus on my strengths.
Something that I want to ask you is, do you find that your most profitable trades are your favorite trades to take, or do you find yourself having to like force yourself to take these entries that are most profitable for you? Does that make sense?
So my bread and butter trade is the low a day VWAP break trade there. You see there's 43 trades of them, very good win rate, very profitable. I'm just very short biased in the market, and I just love me a nice little short to go down to zero. Maybe one day we'll get there, but who knows? But anyway, to answer your question, I'm still pretty, I've been trading for about a year, so I'm still trying to see what is my best setup, what's my A plus plus setup, and so I use the playbook feature to figure that out. And as you can see, some of mine are the New York VWAP break long, the low a day VWAP break, and the New York VWAP bounces are just some of my strengths. And then there are other trades like the bear credit spread, the gap fills, those, and the opening range bounces. We're working on those, and we're weeks, months down the road we'll see if we add that or not.
People will look at this, Nick, and they'll be like, how much time a day is this guy putting into this? Like, this must take a lot of time. What's the commitment to this that you're giving now? And like, did it require a lot of work to get it set up to this way? Let's try to make it as little as of an intimidation thing as possible. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, yeah, if you want, just like, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, you want to learn a musical instrument, if you want to learn any skill, you got to be willing to put in the work and you got to be persistent. And, it's going to take, you need the live trading experience of putting on trades and then journaling. So you need to, depending on where you are in the world, like I'm in the East Coast US. So, I'm fortunate enough with my job, I'm able to sit down in the morning and be present for the New York morning session from 9:30 to 11:30. And so like that's a must. And then, an hour or two after that of journaling, reviewing my trades, and maybe, listening to a podcast, listening to the day trading show, or, trying to always have that desire to become better.
So maybe 2 hours a day you're trading, an hour a day max. So we're talking like 3, 4 hours a day max.
You can consider it a part-time job at minimum. And, the more effort you put in, the more passionate you are. It won't feel like
and you're putting in more effort right now too, I think, in the study especially, and I'm going to show your daily report cards in a second, but because you're working these new strategies, right? Like if you weren't trying to add new strategies to your tool belt, trying to get more data on those, they probably would be a little bit less time intensive. So I don't want people to think that this daily review and the tagging of the trades is this intimidating thing. Once you have the playbook set up like Nick does, it's very easy to do day to day. So first, before we go into the DRCs, average hold time is great. So maybe give a quick tip, Nick. Your average winner is 20 minutes. Your average loser is 14. On your average winning trades, you're making 700. On your average losing trades, you're under 400, 376. So can you give a tip to like keeping losses small? One tip.
Have a plan for when you're going to get out of the trade.
Love that.
Have a plan and stick to the plan. Don't be like, oh, well, it might come back. Like once your ego and your brain is telling you that, you should probably get out of the trade. That would be my one tip. Don't let your ego get in the way.
I love that. So one other thing I got to give Nick a lot of credit for is we talk about daily report cards. People probably hear that in my videos a lot. Weekly report cards. Nick does a great job at this. We do weekly coaching calls together. So he summarizes his day in a DRC, but then he even gives himself a couple of little notes here for me to review for our weekly session. So we can see he's doing weekly report cards every week that summarize his P&L and everything that's going on there, which is great. But I want to show this just to show you, even at the level that Nick's at, which I would say is, top tier. That's why I wanted him to be on this video to show you guys, look at the detail in the DRC, clearly marking up first trade, second trade, third trade, every day doing 10 markups still, every day doing end of day review, going over the accounts, going over the game plan, how well did he follow the game plan, and still hungry for more trade ideas. So Nick, to be clear, these are trades you did not take. These are just trades that you're studying. The trades that you took are these three at the top, correct?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So just so you see everybody, and then of course, each chart has an explanation and everything like that. So this is the level you want to shoot for. That's why I wanted to bring Nick on. But Nick, this is fantastic, buddy. Any last tip to leave everybody with about like Tradezella and documenting, anything you want to leave them with?
If you're willing to put in the work, if you're persistent, if you use a data-driven approach, which Tradezella allows you to do, then the odds of you being a successful retail trader, consistently profitable trader, goes up exponentially.
100%. Cool. Thank you, Nick. This is great, bro. I really appreciate it.
Oh, honored to be with you, Austin. Thanks for having me on.
All right, awesome. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you in the next one.